we've put all of these modules, and in our learning management system, they're called topics. So we put all these modules into one lesson, and that enhances what we said to you in the introduction, which is pick and choose what you want as a pregnant woman to learn. And you, as a partner, pick and choose what you want to learn, and then discuss it. A lot of the hands-on stuff you'll find in the courses, but many of the skills are right here. And what's also important is you'll learn why you need to be skilled for any type of birth. When we started developing Birthing Better, the families that I worked with were very faith-based. I'm not, never knew why they chose to come to me. I worked on bad backs and physical disabilities, but I worked with a lot of pregnant women who had bad backs, and also a lot of women actually my age whose bodies had been damaged by giving birth, by laboring and delivery. Because back then the medical profession wasn't sophisticated enough to prevent those things. Now more and more women are having cesareans and their bodies aren't as damaged as many of ours are, because we have a big object the size of a grapefruit that's coming down through and out our body. And if our body isn't prepared, then that big object is going to open us up, and it can stretch us and damage us in ways that are very simply life transforming. We pee every time we laugh or run or cough. Some of us have prolapses of our rectum, our bladder, our cervix. Many of us, if we tore or had an episiotomy and they stitched us up, we had pain having sex from then on. The families also who developed this were medically high risk. And back then in 1970, that was considered to be normal. Women still labored and had vaginal birth. Not all risk becomes a problem. Not all problem becomes a tragedy. If you can do something to reduce your risks, then good for you, because that's why we developed these skills, was that families with high risks want to figure out how to reduce their risks. And we found out that it was all the same thing. We had to open up our body. We had to make it pliable. We had to make it mobile. We had to know how to do that. We had to use our mind in birth to choose what skills we were using. We didn't have a blank mind. We didn't birth instinctually, which, by the way, having watched hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos of births, all those beautiful women who just look really, really focused, they're choosing their behaviors. They're choosing how they breathe. They're choosing the positions they're in. They're choosing how to relax. They might say, I did it instinctively, but when you talk to them, they're choosing. We do not want to get rid of our thinking mind. We want to use our thinking mind in conjunction with the activity of birthing our baby. So go through whatever you want and have a good time, because I've spent 50 years of my life having a good time passing these on to people like yourself. They've made the world of difference. I was fortunate enough in my last birth to have been at many, many births with families who used the Birthing Better skills or the Pink Kit skills, and I was able to use these skills for my last birth, which was very unexpected. I gave birth 8 weeks prematurely in a strange town, in a strange hospital, but I had these skills, and I chose to apply them. And I applied them so successfully that 13 people in the hospital staff all watched me birth my baby myself, even though I had wires coming out of a lot of my holes because he was 8 weeks premature. And I felt really empowered because I chose to work with and around the assessments, the monitoring, and procedures. And it was what it was, and I had an incredibly empowered birth, and you can as well. Were those my choices? My choices were to use skills. Did I choose to have the birth that I had? Yeah, no. Okay, you probably won't either. So take care and enjoy the lessons.